Mini D plugin review. I knew Akai was going to do it. I knew Akai was going to do something like this because, and I probably mentioned this in my ARP 2600 review, which was kind of puzzling to me because they had a third-party company do that for Akai, and then they came out with this, the Mini D, and I felt like they should have did this first. But here it is, and I'm excited about it. I think sometimes there's a part of me that wants to tear it down and say, oh, I ain't gonna be any good. Now there are some flaws because I've been playing with this for a little bit. And as you can see on the screen, I got the Model D Behringer, which is one of my favorite synthesizers in my rig. So I'm spoiled. And so I will be comparing my experience with the one right here you see versus the one right here. And you know, it's another Model D clone. But this is Akai's version of it that fits inside of the ecosystem in the MPC software, which means that this can go standalone. So instead of lugging my heavy Moog Sub 37 around or my Sub Fatty around, if I want to play Keybase at a gig, I can use my MPC Live as a sound module and play Keybase live and get some great sounds out of this thing because it does have some good sounds. And there is that bite that you don't get from actual analog, but it's enough. It's enough. And then you got extra because you got effects. You know, in order to have effects like this on the Mini D, on this version right here, you know, the Model D didn't come with effects, so you had to get pedals and stuff like that. But in this situation, you got reverbs and what I like to do is get a plain sound. I don't like to dive into presets because I'm a sound designer, so I like to make my sounds from scratch. So I like to do it all from the jump. So let's go ahead and see if I can match this. So that's the Mini D, and this is the Model D. Ooh, that sounds very, very similar. That's the Model D, Mini D. Wow, but you can hear that difference right there. Now, these headphones, I think I got really used to these headphones because the low end, I can hear more low end on the Model D. This is the Model D. And then this is the Mini D on the software. Hear that? So to compensate for that, I'll probably have to go into effects and see if there's any EQing going on, which I see there is here. And I can put it back. Oof. And let me go back to the Model D. Now there's more of it in the software. You know, but that's cool. We're just doing a sawtooth because that's the basic thing right there. You got delay, right? You got ping pong. I like ping pong. What's your favorite type of delay? Let me know in the comments below. What do you like best? What delay do you like? I like ping pong. If it's not ping ponging, I'm not interested. It's just because you get to hear that stereo. And you get a little bit of chorus. So you got a chorus pedal. And you can't get that on the Model D. So scratch one up for the Model D. Now see there's some routing options on here, which is cool. You got the mod. You can tell the mod to affect these oscillators here, or you can turn them off individually, which is really cool. You got your mixer block right there. You can activate some things. One thing I can say that this has over the Model D is that this has 3 different colors of noise, whereas you just got one color of noise on here. The filter, You got two different filters. You got classic and modern. I guess the classic is more of the ladder filter from the Moogs. Modern's probably, I'll give it a higher shelf. Don't quote me on that. I'm quite sure the manual will tell you exactly what those differences are. But on the Model D, you can go to a high pass filter there, and I don't see you can do that on this one. But you can add modification or LFO, and that's interesting because they use different language for different parts of the plugin. So as you can see, they say LFO right there, which is under the mod section of controllers. I just call that a LFO. So, you know, different language, but if you really sink your teeth into this, you know, you're good to go. So let's blend waveforms. Let's hear how they sound. And this is the part where I'm like, okay, they didn't quite hit the nail on the head with this because, in my opinion, it doesn't simulate the ever-running oscillators that you do have running in analog software like the Model D. And I'll give you an example right here. So I'm going to detune Oscillator 2. And we're going to hear that detuning chorus effect that beats against each other in that note. You can hear it right now. Right? But I want you to pay attention to how it comes together. Like you hear that, it's hard to explain, but you hear that phase. So every time I hit that note, and the people, your audience aren't, only the music nerds are going to care about this. But you hear that, it's like every time I hit that note, you hear that same type of coursing pattern. Now let me go ahead and recreate that same sound on the analog Model D. So I'm going to add the second one. So no matter when I hit the note, and it's hard to, but you can hear where the waveforms are in line and they get out of line with each other. Hear that timbre? Change it. It's kind of hard to hear, so I don't know if I can exaggerate it. Hear that yeah, right? So you can almost hear it happen as I'm hitting the notes. But on the software, and nope, probably most people won't care about this. Hear that? It sounds like a wavetable happening. It sounds like it's playing a sample again. And you know, but it can work to your favor. Let's bring it down. But you still get that Mogi. And then added some chorus to it. I mean, come on. I don't think I got a feedback knob on this thing, but there is a way to make a feedback on it. I don't do it a lot, so I can't really. But you hear that? But that's with some effects, though. So let's see if I can do the same thing on a Model D. And it's very easy to forget that I'm working on a plugin. But look, it's just. It's such a monster, though. listen to the envelope there. Hear that envelope pop a little bit? That. So if I could just change the. But you got to find that. You kind of mess with your attack and decay, but if I do that on the. See, everything's turned all the way down as far as decay. And you still don't get as pronounced of a pop when the thing opens and closes. I mean, so, you know, it's a lot of fun with that. It's easy to sit here and just nitpick on this thing. If you don't have any analog synthesizers in a rig, I definitely recommend this. This is a cheaper option than the Model D. And it's a great way to know your way around a Model D. I think knowing your way around a Model D is like classical synthesizer training. You know, like there's probably like in classical music and probably jazz music, there's probably like those songs that you have to learn that every person who says this, the classic like Chick Corea. If you're a jazz musician, everybody probably knows Spain from Chick Corea, right? Chick Corea. And I think that knowing your way around a Model D is classical. And as you learn, like if you never encountered a Model D before in software or on hardware, once you encounter this, you're going to look back at all the other VST plugins and all the synthesizers that came before this or after this, and you're going to see some similarities like this. You're going to see a mixer spot. You're going to see an oscillator spot. Whereas some people say, okay, well, we're not going to give you 3 oscillators, but we'll give you 2, but we're going to give you wavetables in this block. And then we're going to allow you different mixer options there. And then we're going to let you have effects, you know. And so just knowing your way around this is very important. So bottom line, definitely, this is something I recommend if you're an MPC user and you want good bass sounds, good lead sounds, and then I think it has 4-note polyphony. I haven't even dug that in this video because I wanted to use it more faithfully towards the original. Everybody has, man, Arteria. I think Cherry Audio got one. A lot of people got these plugins, and I get it. And as an MPC user, as an MPC power user, this is a great tool to have because this can come in clutch when I want to do some bass lines and I don't want to depend on something else. Like they came out with the tube synth for this thing, but I wasn't satisfied with it. They had the ARP 2600 on this, but I wasn't satisfied with that because, you know, if you got the ARP 2600, and I'm going to pull it up right now, just talk about that difference right there because I think that's something that we have to acknowledge. Okay, so I had just a cut because my computer did something anyway. But I mean, you got tube synth and you got, look at this, ARP 2600. I wish my other camera would focus. Gotta love technology, but look at this. Look at it. You want your Odyssey experience? Here it is. You want your Odyssey experience? There. Yeah. I know how to use this thing, and every time I use it, I still have to figure it out. Like, this has to be your only synthesizer to use it. You got the tube synth. I mean, you got your wavetable action right there. Look at that. You got your wavetable. But it's like, all right. It's kind of hybrid between like a Serum / Rolandy type thing. It's fun. Oh, you got your sub oscillator. So, I mean, you got stuff here, you know, but everybody likes that Model D. It's just classic, and definitely I recommend getting it if you're a power MPC user. If you're not, it can wait, but I think it's something I wanted them to come out with, and I'm glad they did it. So that's my review. I'm Dilio. Leave a comment in the section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.